a Tesla competitor, NIO, is rushing to go bankrupt. Let's see why the Electric Viking, who used to own NIO stock, has now sold all of his stock.
There was no real way of knowing that NIO's CEO would completely lose his marbles. NIO will likely spend more money than Tesla in 2023.
Okay, well, maybe if they deliver a lot of cars, maybe that's not that bad. I mean, Tesla is delivering well over 1 million cars this year. So how many vehicles has NIO delivered? Well, cumulative deliveries of NIO vehicles reached 227,000, almost 28,000 as of July 31st, 2022.
How they can possibly sustain this, I have no idea.
Just looking at the stock price, it would appear that most people would agree.
The factory they have planned in Hungary will cost $3 billion. Losses are up at the company by 400%, and the CEO believes they can keep on spending rampantly and somehow reduce their losses. I don't know how they plan on doing this. He has not revealed a plan on how they are actually going to achieve this, and frankly, I perceive this as being mathematically impossible.
Speaking of impossible things, how does Gordon Johnson still have half a star? And also remember this $55 billion lawsuit that Elon Musk is facing because he didn't do a good job and therefore he got paid for improving Tesla's valuation. And if he didn't do those things, then he would have gotten paid zero. How can he be sued by someone who only has 9 shares of Tesla stock? This is just absolutely absurd.
About a month ago, the CEO of NIO was very heavily critical of Tesla. He said at any moment they're ripe to be disrupted and that they potentially will lose most of their market share.
A month ago, I wonder if there's something that happened a month ago. Yeah. Price cuts in China for Teslas. That's right. And what happened? Tesla's recent price cut strategy has created a negative spillover effect where a lot of China EV brands' order backlog has suffered significant order cancellations, according to our dealership channel checks. He didn't outright name the brands, but companies like NIO and Xpeng are seen as Tesla's biggest direct competitors in China. This is what I've been talking about, people. Tesla cutting prices was not necessarily a bad thing because everyone else is just going to suffer much more. However much Tesla suffers, everyone else is going to be suffering squared, basically.
Then NIO reported their quarterly sales figures. Turns out they lost 400% more money than they did over the same quarter last year.
And the only explanation for that is because, of course, it's impossible to make profits making electric vehicles. Impossible. I mean, just look at Tesla's earnings reports. It's obviously impossible, right? Total gross profit year over year growing 47%. Not too bad. So what excuses do these competitors have to lose 400% more money? That's ridiculous.
And then they did something else which was, I think, absolutely mind-blowingly crazy. NIO believe that, the bank is just going to give them as much money as they could possibly dream of having. And they'll keep on burning it like a pile of cash that's just on fire.
The stock is just being completely burnt down, crashing, like a Nikola stock, almost. Are we gonna go bankrupt? We sort of did before.
I've sold all of my NIO stock after the past month of I sold all of it because of the comments of the CEO, because of the NIO's decisions and their direction. Now, I had a bit left today after I read the latest news of their plans. I said enough is enough. I got rid of everything. It's all gone. So, yeah, I mean, realistically, my plan initially was to hold NIO stock for 10 years. That was my plan. But sometimes plans have to change when companies make bizarre and what I think crazy decisions which are irresponsible and exceptionally reckless.
Of course, to be fair, Elon Musk has been described as reckless before, even unstable. But you look at Neo CEO and that's what actually reckless means.
Now, clearly the CEO of NIO thinks that money just grows on trees, which is surprising to me because NIO actually went bankrupt a few years ago and they kind of had a restructuring, a little bit like General Motors, and they kind of rose like a phoenix from the ashes, you might say. But they're doing the same thing again. They're just spending recklessly. And when I say recklessly, I mean, here is part of what I'm talking about. NIO plans on spending enormous figures of money. They're already doing it. They have 6 electric car models, right? 6 models. They're a small startup. They have 6 models of cars. They have NIO houses all over China. They're building them across Europe. They have more than 1,200 battery swapping stations in China. They're doing them in Europe as well.
It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Tesla only has 4 models. The Model 3, Model Y, Model S, Model X. It's simple. And really, Tesla only mass produces 2 vehicles, the Model 3 and Y. Why complicate things? Why don't you just make one really good car and just scale it up? And then you move on to the next one a little bit later. And what's the deal with all those battery swapping stations? Tesla tried that years ago. It should be so clear to anyone who's competing with Tesla. Tesla is number one. Why don't we just look at everything that Tesla has done and everything that they stopped doing? How about we also don't do? Because they know better. They already tried. Why make those same mistakes? Look, it doesn't even take us much time. Battery swap pilot program, December 19, 2014. It's been 8 years. Why would you even try this? And also, if you just spend even a little bit of time looking at battery technology developments, you will quickly realize in the somewhat rather near future, battery charging is going to be incredibly quick. I mean, this right here says that already we can charge a battery in full from basically 0 to full in 72 seconds. Now, personally, I don't believe any technology is scalable for batteries until I actually see it in production. But it is very clear that the technologies are getting better and there's no need to bother with all of the battery swaps. I mean, then you can charge your battery in, let's say, 5 minutes. So I'm not even talking about 72 seconds, just 5 minutes, even maybe 7 or 8 minutes. Once you can do that, what is the point of battery swaps? And in the meantime, you just sell the vehicles to people that have their own houses where they can just park at home, or maybe they have a charger at a parking stall, even if they live in an apartment. Just sell to those people first. There are plenty of buyers like that that don't live in apartments where they cannot find a charger, and you know, a supercharger is still very inconvenient. It takes quite a while to charge, but technology is getting better fast.
And then they came out and said, you know what? We're going to build another 5 new models next year. So NIO will have 11 different models you can order from them next year.
You know why they are building new models? It's because they don't have enough demand. If they had enough demand, why would you do such a foolish thing and create a lot more complexity for yourself? Why, instead of creating a new model, why don't you just go back to the cars that you already made? And how about just improve those so that people actually really want to buy them in high volumes? And if you are saying that the car is already good enough and people love it and like it, then cut your costs, make the car simpler to manufacture like Tesla is doing. Tesla's margins are preposterous. In US, Canada, Troy estimates that auto gross margins for Tesla vehicles are almost 40%. And you just paid for the $7,500 EV incentive in the US this coming year.
Nothing NIO's CEO is saying right now makes any sense. Basically, by the end of 2024, they're going to have like 15 different models on the market and somehow magically start making money. They say they're going to start making money by the fourth quarter of next year. How? They're burning through money at an insane rate. Now, I haven't mentioned NIO's houses. The NIO house is like a hangout place where you can go for NIO owners. NIO has spent millions and millions of dollars on these luxurious, cool houses where you can go and hang out. The thing is, if you're only selling 10,000 cars a month worldwide, how do you actually make your costs cover that?
Well, one way that NIO could survive is if they buy Tesla stock. It's on sale right now. And unlike NIO, Tesla's fundamentals are improving. There's more profit made regularly, and that is, I believe, going to continue. So if Tesla stock does indeed 10x, like I believe it will before the end of 2030, maybe that's the only hope that NIO has to survive. These are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. If you'd like to help the channel, please always in the beginning of a video, click the like button. That will help the algorithm a lot, actually. I'm reporting to you from Vancouver City, Canada, and I'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching.